to CITAM Church Talk Show, and I'm here with
Becher, Karanja,
and
Marcy, Ogutu.
Now today we're going to be talking about purpose. What basically purpose is. Yeah, I know that most of the time in your journey of life, you have to check over and over again what your purpose is. So, what is purpose? Why are we here? I think that's the big question. Why am I here? Why are you here? Why are you here? What is purpose?
Okay. Purpose is, I like the way Dr. Masmudro described it. It's God's original intent. It's the reason or the motivation behind why you were created. Ideally, it's the why, and also, because the intent is the will. So purpose is ideally what was the original intention, the original intent, the why we actually here.
How would you?
I like the bit why. If you're able to answer why you're doing what you're doing or why you're here, that's purpose. That's purpose. And for me, as she's explained it, that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
And how do you differentiate between purpose and career and vision? Because maybe I have a vision for my life. I want certain things to happen. Maybe I'm in my career, I want to win certain awards, I want to go as far as this place. Is that my purpose? And how do you sort of start differentiating those things? How do you separate purpose from vision and career? And how do they even tie into each other? And passion. Let's not forget about passion.
Yes.
That's true. That's very true. It's interesting how if you listen to many speakers, they have diverse ways of looking at it. So you'll find some speakers talking about vision, but it comes out as purpose, and the other way around. So people have different views per se. But what is a general understanding is that whenever you hear the word vision, it's that big picture, that idea or that big plan that you have at hand or in your mind that you're hoping to achieve in life. And I tend to see when it comes to things to do with our profession, it's per se the roadmap for you to achieve that vision. At the end of the road, and but if I was to be asked how the two marry together, I think purpose comes number one.
Absolutely,
purpose comes number one.
So it's purpose, then vision, and then career and passion and everything. Like for Mercy, practical now. I'm sure somebody's thinking is like, okay, so how does that translate for me? Sort of translate that practically. What is Mercy's purpose?
Okay, I think for me, Amani, I really struggled in terms of getting my purpose. It was a struggle, like real. It was really a struggle because I went to school. I studied business, finance in particular, but I always felt like my purpose and because your passion is drawn from your purpose, and your passion is that innate, deep down desire that it brings energy in you. It's the fire that you cannot quench. So studied business, I did finance, and then I felt like my purpose was always in my voice. I felt like there's something different about my voice, and I love communication and I love talking. I'm a noise maker, so I kept on thinking, okay, but I'm doing finance. How does finance marry with talking and communication? And so after campus, I went and did lots of voiceovers, for advertisements, just trying to get to have my voice out there, because I always felt like my purpose was in my voice. And somehow the way God works out things, I was able to do the voiceovers, and now I get to do something also in media in terms of just communicating. And what I do right now, even at work, is in terms of communication. So it's your purpose comes first. Because the Bible says many are the plans in a man's heart, but it's only the Lord's purpose that will prevail. So we have lots of plans, we have vision, we have all these things we want to do, but purpose must come first. Then, you know, the vision will come in. Then from that vision, passion will actually just come from all that. Then your career can come in.
Yes.
Reverend Becher.
Yes.
For you, how did practicality, how did all this tie in?
Yeah, I think just in line with what she's saying, for me, I began questioning and asking myself, why am I here? I was still also in high school at the same time, and I decided, I think deep down in my heart, I have the call of God to engage in ministry as a full-time minister. I was young. But it began, it began in high school. So I ended up being the CU chairperson. I think in Form 3, Form 4, ended up being the chairperson in charge of other chairpersons of other schools where I was studying. Very interesting. Bishop of some sort. And it was taken early.
This whole thing started out. You know?
Yeah, so it was quite good. So I was fully convinced that there's a certain purpose that God wants me to fulfill. That is basically transforming lives, reaching out to people through spiritual nourishment and just sharing the word of God with them. And I took that line. And I can tell you it wasn't an easy one, because folks would come and say, all right, you're good at this. Or I remember one time I was in Bible school for around 2 years, and they said, I think right now you've gotten enough of the Bible. Why don't you now move on to something more serious? You know, something that is concrete and celebrated out there. But I said, no, this is the direction I want to follow. I'll never forget one time I met a pastor, actually with Deputy Bishop, and they said, you know, it doesn't matter. He really encouraged me. I hope he's watching. So he said as long as you're 21 years and above, you can actually be a pastor. I was like, what?
The Timothys of this world.
21 years and above. And I said, bas. So for me, I decided, that's it.
That's the direction.
Up to date, I'm still pursuing it, because I know whatever I'm doing is right within my purpose as a child of God.
I think for me, it was a bit confusing. I ended up being very passionate, but I didn't begin in music actually. I began in poetry. And actually I was like national champion, provincial champion, you know, all those type of things. So my thing was poetry. But the thing that bothered me was, how do I translate this to purpose? How do I translate this to, you know, career, to vision? And I think that happens for a lot of people. Maybe your passion is in cooking. Maybe you're really good at organization skills, and you're wondering, how do I transfer this to my purpose? How do I transfer this to my career so everything can turn in, can tie in? And what I discovered normally happens, like you said, let it be like your purpose. So even at that time, I knew that my purpose was somewhere in public. It was in performance, sort of. I knew that I was a performing arts sort of situation. So it was almost like, okay, how do I do this? So I was in church, doing dancing, doing skits and doing music, and eventually I landed onto music, and I felt very comfortable about it. And I was like, okay, this is good. Now translating it into purpose and career, for me it happened differently. And I think it's good if someone is gentle with themselves, but it's so important that you sit down and take stock and ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What makes me kick? And also, let's not dwell too much on the art, because you see, most people, what are you passionate about? You know, they'll tell you artsy things, because you know, our passion somehow goes with art. So tell you dancing, singing, music, or something that's artsy. But you'll be shocked that there are guys who are actually, it's okay to say that I'm passionate about organization. There are guys who love things running according to time and everything. So after you discover that, okay, fine, for me, my thing is, when you ask me to organize something, by the way, it comes out straight. There's another person maybe who is passionate about the environment. Like, I do not like seeing 1, 2, 3. If you're passionate about it, then you realize, okay, fine, I probably have a purpose within this. So how can I make, so to speak, the world better using this?
And just to tie it up with what you're saying, purpose precedes action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before you answer, what am I supposed to do? You should have first and foremost answered, why am I here?
Why am I here?
If you begin by what I'm supposed to do, and that's why many of us are failing.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, which careers are there? And you find a young person highlighting all those careers.
Yeah.
All right? If you pursue that before fulfilling or answering why I'm here, the purpose aspect of it, it doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Because in any given time, the why should always precede the what, just in line with what you're saying. Purpose precedes action. I love what the late Dr. Miles Monroe has said, that where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. So if you find a person who is just moving and just heading in a certain direction, and they don't know why, they don't have certain targets they have, then you'll find yourself in any given career or field that you don't actually design. As you've said, you're not actually passionate about. You can imagine if you didn't get into what you're doing earlier on with music and what have you. And there are people who should be in the music industry, but they're
great singers. I mean,
they're
amazing singers, amazing songwriters, and everything. But we also need to remember that we live in. I always remember that we live in Africa. So here I am. Let's take now another situation whereby I didn't pursue my passion. Maybe my passion is in art. I love to draw. Yes. But can you imagine going to tell an African parent,
Yes.
Maybe I'm going to be a fine artist.
Utajua.
The thing, utajua how do we do it. So, how do you, once, of course you've taken a different career, you've taken a different professional path, and that's what's paying your bills. So how do you end up now fulfilling your purpose? Here I am, maybe I'm a young professional, maybe I'm an accountant, maybe I'm an administrator, but my passion is in art. How do I end up fulfilling purpose even within all of that?
Wow.
Let me mention that, purpose attracts providence. Every single time, and that's why it's important for us to always go back to God, our manufacturer, and asking God, what is my purpose? Because in that purpose, there's always providence for you somehow, So you find lots of people who are struggling, because they're not in their purpose. And for instance, I found out that my purpose is communication. There are many ways, Amani, I can communicate. I can communicate through song, I can communicate through writing, I can communicate through being an MC, and all that somehow brings providence, and so just to answer your question, that purpose, it's very, very important that you get to identify that particular purpose, and the only way you can know it is by going back to God, because it will always attract providence. You can be an art person who does what, probably into drawing or into let's say talk about spoken word. You can actually, there's a lady who does spoken word, and she puts biblical scriptures in there, and that touches the hearts of people, and that is transformational because it has the power of God in it. So because everything that God gives us, it's for His glory and to transform lives. It's not for us. In fact, if your purpose is for you alone, then that's a purpose.
Then that's not,
it's all of God.
And just in line with the same, one of the greatest challenges you're facing, and especially in our context, in Africa and even beyond, is what Dr. Wali has called the conversion capacity, where you take a resource and you're able to convert it, and it's able to generate an income for you. And allow me to say that we have are people who somehow are a bit closed-minded. So you find a young man comes and tells the parents, I'm passionate about sports. And the parent is thinking, what's wrong with you? I got so encouraged the other day. A parent in one of our CITAM assemblies, this boy was so passionate about football, and he would come to church on a Sunday dressed in a football kit.
That's nice.
Upon high school, they asked him, are you really serious about this thing? And he said, yes, I'm really passionate about sports.
Wow.
And guess what they did? They actually took the child to the UK. Right now, since the beginning of last year, is at the Liverpool Academy, being paid for by the parents. And we're thinking, which parent does that?
Yes.
Taking your child to a football academy because he's passionate about it. So I think for me, as parents, and even just the community, there has to be a paradigm shift. We are in a capitalistic environment where everything is translating to how much money, how much is it going to bring in, and that can be a bit an undoing on our end, because if somebody is pursuing a career just because of the resources or the income they're getting, then it's a bit skewed. But what is really important is this person fulfilling their purpose? If so, can they convert it into some form of resource, financial resource that can come their way? And we should not be so much given in regards to how much is coming in, because somehow that's what is driving us. We are materialistic. So for us, true purpose or a true feel is that one which is bringing in
cash. That's your bank account.
I think for me, how I look at it is your purpose gives you an edge. We were all created to fulfill our purpose. When God was creating Messi, knew this girl is for communication. So everything about you was created about communication. He's creating Pastor Becher. He was like, this, my servant, you're going to be a pastor. So even your attributes and your character were created to fulfill that purpose. So even if you find yourself in a situation whereby, yes, you know, I'm probably like 7 years into my career, maybe you even decide to become a nurse and you're such an amazing artist, there's always a way you can fulfill your purpose. You can pursue it. Most of the time I meet people who are like, oh, I wanted to be a great singer. I always say, be a great, it's okay. Join the choir. Go into studio, do it. You'll never know where it leads you to. If it's painting, paint, join an art club, do it. You will never know what ideas you'll get and how far you will go.
Very true.
And it's never too late.
And it's never too late.
And the thing is, in every single thing that we're doing, God is just aligning it. If we believe in Him to that particular purpose that He created us for. So it's never too late with God.
Very true.
Start it.
Very true.
And today is a good day to start. Even right now is a good day to start. Would you like to get in touch with us? You can DM us on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. You can also, you know, write on a few comments and everything. Let us know what your view is about the topic. We love hearing from you. Be blessed. This is CITAM Church Online Talk Show. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.